Hi everyone. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about exercise 8D today. I haven't written all the notes on the whiteboard because I've taken photocopies of them and I've put them on Compass. So I'm going to just concentrate on the examples. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to talk through the exercise, what you need to do, and the things that you need to do to get the answers to these types of questions. Now, the difference with exercise 8D is we're now dealing with the nth rule. So in the previous exercise, we were using the recurrence relationship to find each line. So you started with V0, then you found V1, then you used that value to find V2, you use that value to find V3, which is fine if you only have to go to like 3 or 4 or 5. But if you have to find what's the investment worth, for example, after 20 years or 25 years, you don't want to have to write out 25 sums to find the answer. And nobody has time for that in a SAC or an exam. So in those sorts of cases, we would use the nth rule. And that's what I'm going to go through with you today. So our first example is we've got VO is equal to 7,000. So that means the initial investment, for example, is worth $7,000. VN plus 1 is equal to VN plus 100, which means at the end of each year, the investment will go up by $100. Okay? So the old way of doing it, we would say VO equals 7,000. V1 is equal to VO plus 100, so that gave us 7,100. V2 is the V1 value plus 100, that gives us 7,200. And V3 is the V2 value plus 100 would give us 7,300. Now if we have a look over here, this is the pattern that we are creating. So for VO, it's VO plus 0 times 100, which just gives us our VO value. VO plus 1 times 100 would give us our V1 value. VO plus 2 times 100 would give us our V2 value. And this is where we are going to get our equation for the nth rule. So basically what we're saying is Vn is equal to 7,000 plus n times 100. And n represents the number of years. So for example, if we want to find the 20th term, we don't want to write out 20 sums to get there. We can say, all right, so V20 is equal to 7,000 plus 20 times 100. Okay, so instead of n, we put in the number of years to represent the 20, and we get V20 is equal to 7,000 plus 2,000, because 20 times 100 is 2,000. So the value for the V20 is 9,000. Okay, and this is all in cases of like simple interest or investments that are giving simple interest. Or depreciation, where it's depreciating by exactly the same amount. Okay, another example is if we have a simple interest investment. So we have VO 3,000. So that tells you straight away that $3,000 was invested into the bank. The Vn plus 1 is equal to Vn plus 260. So that tells us that at the end of each year, $260 is going to be added to this investment. And we want to find out what the investment is worth after 15 years. So we've got Vn is equal to the VO plus n times d. So V15 is equal to the 3,000 plus 15 times 260. That gives us V15 is equaling to 6,900. Remember, this part is only the working out. If you only show the working out, you only get half the marks. You must state your answer. So, after 15 years, years, the investment will be worth $6,900. That completes the full answer to the question. So to get full marks in a SAC or an exam, don't forget that final sentence. Don't just show you're working out. Okay, another type of question you might get is use a rule to find when the value of the investment first exceeds $10,000. Now, this is where some simple algebra is going to come into play. So we want the value to be at least $10,000, so we're going to put 10,000 here. Is equal to 3,000 plus the 260 times the n. So we're solving for n. This is just basic algebra. You know, with basic algebra, we have to get the n on its own. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the 3,000 out. And for everyone at home, I know you're thinking, hey miss, we have a calculator, function 3-1 solve, that will get you there. But I want to show you how to do it so that you know how to show the working out. We first take away the 3,000 from both sides. Okay, so that cancels out. So I'm left with 7,000 on this side, and I'm left with 260 n. Okay, to get n on itself, I'm going to divide the 260 away. So I divide the 260 away. I divide the 260 away, and I get an answer. Oh, that's my dog barking. He wants out of the room. He's locked in here with me at the moment. Of n being equal to 26.92. Now, the question asks us to use a rule to find when the value of the investment first exceeds $10,000. We've got an issue here because we've got a decimal point. It says 26.92. And we need to talk about full years. So our answer is either 26 or our answer is either 27. Now, if you're thinking about normal rounding rules, you'll tell me that it's 27. That is correct, but not for the right reason. The answer is 27 because it requires more than 26 years to get to the $10,000. So as soon as there's a decimal place, a decimal point, you have to round the number up to the next whole number. So if that read 26.1, you would not round down to 26. It requires more than 26 years. You need to round it up to the 27th year. Okay, I hope that part you understand, because I've seen lots of students make mistakes with that one. All right, guys, get started on exercise 8D, and I'll see you in class. Bye.